Good morning, everyone. For teleSUR, I'm Cody Weddle here in Caracas, Venezuela. We begin with the ongoing U.S. airstrikes in Syria. The U.S. carried out 13 more strikes on Wednesday, hitting targets of the self-declared Islamic State, said the Pentagon. A U.S.-led coalition started bombing the targets in Syria on Monday, stepping up military operations that began in August. Monday's attacks killed dozens of militants and at least 10 civilians. Homes were destroyed in the town of Kafar Daran. Some residents there insist that the town did not harbor any militants.
The military headquarters are in the mountains, far from the town. There are no military headquarters here. All the people who were killed today were displaced civilians from Aleppo.
The U.S. reiterated Tuesday that its latest military mission in the Middle East will take a long time. The Pentagon says strikes on Syria mark the beginning of a campaign that could last years. While the U.S. continues to stress that the mission includes a broad-based coalition, the Pentagon has admitted that U.S. forces are carrying out the overwhelming majority of attacks. Meanwhile, some experts have raised concerns over U.S. support for what it calls moderate militias that oppose the Syrian government.
As you can see on the right-hand side in the picture,
The military headquarters are in the mountains, far from the town. There are no military headquarters here. All the people who were killed today were displaced civilians from Aleppo.
Staying with Syria, the UN Refugee Agency says it has plans to assist 400,000 people in the town of Kobani to flee into Turkey. 140,000 Syrian Kurds have already fled the town following ISIS advances. Turkey has closed nearly all of its border crossings with Syria. It fears link-ups between Kurdish groups in Syria and Turkey as it opposes Kurdish independence. Others believe that the border has also been shut down because Turkey fears a strengthening of the Turkey-based Kurdish Workers' Party, which has called for youth in Turkey to join the fight against ISIS. To news out of Latin America now, where ahead of his speech to the UN General Assembly, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro delivered a speech in the Bronx area of New York City. Addressing grassroots organizations and community leaders, Maduro said Venezuela seeks better relations with the U.S. government.
Admiramos la historia de Estados Unidos y de verdad nos gustaría más temprano que tarde tener relaciones de respeto, de cooperación.
We admire the history of the United States, and we would really like, sooner rather than later, to have a relationship based on respect and cooperation. I'm doing everything possible to have a respectful relation with President Obama and the United States government. That said, we will not be quiet. We will continue to state our beliefs, and we will continue to demand that they stop intervening in the internal affairs of Venezuela.
Que dejen a Venezuela en paz, que saquen sus manos de Venezuela y de América Latina.
As presidential elections in Brazil quickly approach, the most recent poll shows incumbent President Dilma Rousseff has made gains at the expense of her nearest rival, Marina Silva. Silva is the business favorite, and stock markets have dropped as Dilma has made gains. A survey released Tuesday by the IBOPE polling firm showed Rousseff ahead 38% to 29% in the first round. According to another poll by Vox Populi, Rousseff has overtaken Silva and opened a 7-point lead in an expected second round of voting. If no candidate wins an outright majority in the first round on October 5th, the election will be decided in a runoff set for October 26th. The Ecuadorian Attorney General confirmed Tuesday that investigations prove a coup attempt was carried out against President Rafael Correa in 2010. He said there is evidence of a plan to murder the president. Correa was held captive for a number of hours after a police revolt. While many have been charged, the Attorney General said the criminal investigation will now focus on the intellectual authors of the plot. New statistics show that the fight against human trafficking in Central America still has several unfinished goals. As our correspondent Gerardo Torres reports, Nicaragua is the only country that has complied with international requirements of law enforcement and applications of strategies to end these crimes.
Central America's statistics revealed during the International Day Against Human Trafficking that the governments of the region had not implemented appropriate measures to deal with this crime, except for Nicaragua, which has created special forces to face this issue specifically.
A nivel de Centroamérica, evidentemente los países que tenemos.
In Central America, the countries with more problems of human trafficking are those in the North Triangle. Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, maybe because of the participation of drug cartels and the vulnerability of the institutions. But we are working on it. Costa Rica has a different situation, but with a tendency to sex tourism. Authorities still have to do many things. The country that shows the best conditions is Nicaragua.
El país que presenta las mejores condiciones es Nicaragua.
Human trafficking has always been related to prostitution, but recent regulations have added other categories that include forced work, criminal activities, and child beggary. Citizen organizations have collected some testimonies of victims they are actually working with.
La señora que era la coyote me dijo que me iba a conseguir trabajo, pues se suponía que iba a trabajar de cuidar a los niños.
Told me that she was going to get me a job. I supposedly was going to take care of children, but my surprise was that when we got to the place, it wasn't about taking care of children. Instead, it was a bar where we were forced into prostitution, drinking and drugs. If we refused to comply, they would kill us. We were threatened. Deeply impacted to see 14 to 16-year-old girls being used.
There is no accurate data about how many people are victims of human trafficking in Central America, but according to human rights organizations, it is at least 10% of migrants, which could amount thousands.
In Honduras, approximately 40 cases of human trafficking and 80 cases of sexual exploitations are being investigated.
Human trafficking in the region is a serious problem with a greater negative social and security impact than drug trafficking, which implies that greater efforts are urgently required to efficiently combat this crime. Gerardo Torres, teleSUR, Central America.
And thanks to Gerardo, Spanish Justice Minister Ruiz Gallardón resigned Tuesday after the withdrawal of legislation to limit abortion rights. The right-wing minister had proposed a law only allowing abortion in case of rape or health risks to the mother. The law was met with anger from progressive women's groups. It was later scrapped by the Prime Minister. The government will now consider restricting abortion to 16 and 17-year-olds. Plenty more on those and other stories at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For teleSUR English, I'm Cody Weddle. Have a great Wednesday.